Welcome to Voice of Reason, the world's, I should say, Tri-State's most famous podcast here in the Delaware Valley, the New Jersey, New York, Maryland, D.C., and I think it's actually more national these days. I'm Jake Schwartz. Today we are here live. This will officially be taped, so whenever you're listening to this tape, folks, you'll certainly be able to enjoy the festive type of day. As we're coming to you from the Bala Golf Club here in Ballackinwood, Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia, well, really the section of Philadelphia, PA. And today, folks, is the annual Philadelphia Sportswriters Golf Club Association. We've got some great guests that are going to be joining us here today. Had a nice chat with, with Joe Murphy of Eastern University Basketball. And I'm told that some of the guests here today, John Borick is here today from Comcast Sportsnet. Al Morganti is here today, the beat writer for the Flyers. The man, I should say, it's actually funny because I guess after doing 610 WIP, I guess had the nerve to come over here today. So, yeah, we're definitely looking forward to seeing him. We want to thank host of the Philadelphia Sportswriter Golf Club Association, Sam Carcini, who's about to speak in a few moments. Sam actually, just a year ago today, on a hot and humid type of day when you knew the weather was going to be a problem, and it was definitely a humid one. So we're definitely looking forward to talking with Sam, as well as the president of the Adam Talaferro Foundation. That's right, folks. All proceeds are going to benefit the Adam Talaferro Foundation. So we'll definitely talk with members from the foundation here today. It's going to be a beautiful day, again, as mentioned, low humidity, 75 type of degrees, and we're definitely looking forward to being a part of that. So I'm definitely just as excited as ever to be here. So we're definitely, like I said, it's going to be a nice day. It's a warm day, but it's not as bad as it was a year ago. I'm as excited again as ever with the guests we're going to have. It's a great week, again, as mentioned, for Voice of Reason. We're still trying to find out the official day of the Philadelphia Soul Victory Parade, as we will have live coverage from City Hall. Congratulations to Clint Dolzell, Ron Jaworski, and company for winning the third AFL championship in franchise history. I'll be over again at City Hall this week for the Victory Parade. This coming weekend, high school football with St. Augustine Prep and Malvern Prep at Villanova University Saturday night. The highlight will be Archbishop Wood Paramus Catholic, a New Jersey-Pennsylvania battle. And speaking of New Jersey, we are headed up the turnpike to West Orange, New Jersey at the Belmont Chateau in the West Orange, New Jersey. This is, of course, my best friend John Kramer's wedding week with his lovely bride-to-be, Alexandra Rosenweg. And I want to congratulate both of them. In fact, by the time this interview is over and this video is uploaded, they'll officially be married. So congratulations again, as mentioned, to the both of them. And I'm definitely looking forward to being a part of this special day on Sunday evening at about 6 o'clock p.m. And I hope that if John ever listens to this, he's definitely going to enjoy every second of this interview. So, again, special congrats go out to him. You know, last year we had some great guests that came on, and this year it looks like we're going to have some even better ones with Al Morganti and John Borick among the celebrities that are going to be here today. Sam Carcini, of course, is the beat writer of the Philadelphia Flyers, so you know he's bringing his boys. John Quinn, the former editor of the Inquirer, we'll try to talk with him again, as mentioned. So, should be a great day again of the Philadelphia Sportswriters Golf Association, hosted by the president of the Philadelphia Sportswriters, Sam Carcini. I'm Jake Schwartz for another edition of Voice of Reason, the number one source for Tri-State sports. It's so cool again to be here at the Philadelphia Sportswriters Association at Bala Golf Club, and sitting here with one of my favorite coaches in the New Jersey area. And it's not college, it's high school, from Eastern High Regional. My good buddy Joe Murphy is here. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Great day to be out here golfing.
Oh, it's a beautiful day. You know, a year ago at this time, which was actually a month ago before, and we were sweating like there was no tomorrow. It was at least 90-something degrees. Today it's 70 degrees. It's just a perfect day again to golf, and it's an even better way to give back. All proceeds today benefit the Adam Talaferro Foundation.
Correct. It's a great organization surrounded by great people phenomenal people, and I'm just glad that I can do my part.
And I always enjoy getting together with you because, before we went on the air, you mentioned that my business partner, Adam Bach, always said to me that the one person that I always have to give a phone call to is Joe Murphy, because who knows more about the basketball women's circle than a guy like Joe?
Well, that's interesting because I've been a boys basketball coach for 18 years.
What school were you at?
It was Gloucester City High School,
Okay, gotcha.
and then Maple Shade, and I did a year at Lenape High School. But
Sure.
Somehow the good Lord put me in Eastern, and I'll tell you what, I got fantastic accolades over there in the past few years.
Yeah, how many years officially would you say this is for you at Eastern Regional?
This is Eastern would be 16, my 31st coaching.
And what have been some of the best players you've had over the years?
Oh God,
Because there's so many of them, I know.
at Eastern, the number one is Okoro. Genevieve Okoro went to Richmond, did a fantastic job. Another player was Barry Cohen, can shoot the lights out, attack the basket. She was phenomenal.
Cohen, sure.
Marissa DeMarco, Curry Aiken. I've been very lucky to have some great athletes.
Yeah. And you're playing today with your brother,
Yeah, I'm playing with
Jim,
twin Bill.
your twin Bill. I'm sorry, I thought his name was Jim, because you're Joe, he's Bill. And you're also playing with one of the longtime assistant coaches over at Winder, though. What makes the three of you a try-sub duo?
It's interesting. My high school basketball coach, Mike Burke, he's in the family. Bob McQuillan, he's in the family. So we developed a great relationship through the years. And Larry Ginsberg, who's a family member over there at
I know
Eastern.
Larry.
So
Larry's a great guy. And Eastern actually itself is going to be taking off in the boys' circle. And there was a rumor going around that they may be bringing home Matthew Cotton, formerly of St. Benedict's, has about close to 20 offers. Now, that's just a rumor going around. Don't entirely quote me on that. But, I've seen the players that are coming out on the boys' circle. So boys and girls should be a great year for Eastern sports.
hopefully, we're young, we're athletic, we're not very big, so it's going to be a challenge for us to rebound. But we're going to go after them with speed and athletic ability.
Well, let's one final thought, because I know you got some golfing you got to do. How good's your game here today? I know it's early.
My golf game?
Yeah.
I've been playing really well. I really spent a lot of time on the range.
Yes.
I try to be a role model for my golfers. I'm the high school golf at Eastern, and I try to show them you got to put the time in. And my game's been real good. I'm really happy with my game.
All right. We want to thank Murphy's Law himself, Joe Murphy, for joining us here from Eastern Regional High School. Joe, always good to see you, by the way, and we'll definitely catch up with you.
My pleasure.
All right, Joe Murphy here on another edition of Voice of Reason, the Philadelphia Sportswriters Golf Association here at the Ballot Golf Club in Ballot-Kidwood. So back here at the Ballot Golf Club in Philadelphia, Ballot-Kidwood, Pennsylvania, and I've got a great star-studded panel on the Philadelphia Golf Sportswriters Association golf outing. Sam Carcini, the president of the outing. Thank you so much again for allowing us to be here with Al Morganti, the longtime sports writer, as well as personality host on 610 or 94.1 WIP every Monday, or I should say morning, with Angelo Cataldi and company, and John Borick, one of my longtime friends of Comcast Sports, and one of my longtime colleagues, I should say. Gentlemen, so good to see you again. How are you feeling today?
We're good. We can't beat this day.
Sunny
it's
enough.
nice.
It's sunny enough.
No, it's overcast, right?
Well, it's definitely a nice day today. What a great cause, again, for being here today. All proceeds today will benefit the Adam Talaferro Foundation, and your thoughts just on being here on an event like this.
Well, we do a lot of charity things. Adam's such a terrific guy. I mean, he's meant so much being from this area, the things he's done politically, the charities that he helps out with, and just his comeback is just so encouraging to so many people going through tough things.
Yeah, and I've always been a pretty big fan. I remember in high school when he actually went down with the injury, and you just got to think, here's a guy that he can never walk again, but still makes contributions, like you said, and you think that we can learn a lot from people like Adam?
Oh, obviously. I mean, you look and you've got real life. Yeah, your real life heroes, guys like that, literally get up and walk again. And he's so. I mean, the Penn State community is so important to that too, and just the whole area. It's a terrific story.
Yeah, and you've got a pretty good story yourself, growing up in the Boston area, a longtime Red Sox fan, but you've migrated here. How long officially have you lived here in Philadelphia?
Officially?
Yes. Do we have an official?
Unofficially. Unofficially, it'd be a long day.
Since I moved here in the 80s, and I moved here like full time in the 90s.
Yeah, and you're still enjoying your success over at 94 WIP with Angelo Cataldi?
As long as they pay me, then I get to do hockey with John.
Yeah, who's the newest member? Since I know Rhea is no longer with the. Is she still with the studio?
Still with us, yeah.
She still does every morning?
Yeah, so I do that, and then I get my real passion is hockey, so I get it's been a pleasure because, when you do hockey, you get guys that don't necessarily want to do it. It's not their first choice. When I work with John all the time, it's awesome because I know he loves the sport.
Yeah, how long have you been officially a hockey fan, John?
Officially a hockey fan?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, 25, 30 years?
Yeah. You look as good.
That's official.
But you definitely look as good as you feel, though, these days, right?
I think so.
I
Do I
know
look
that you
good?
do. No, and we've had, let's talk about as an analyst on Comcast Sports. It's been a very busy weekend for us. I myself, and I know I saw a couple of your guys this weekend down at the Wells Fargo Center. Philadelphia Soul once again, world champions in AFL football. We've got the parade coming up. We've got the Flyers season coming up. The Sixers season's on the horizon. How great has it been for Philadelphia sports? I know it's
well, until you just said the Soul won a championship, I thought it hasn't been very good.
No, it's been very exciting.
Well, I think it's getting up there for Flyers fans with the addition of Nolan Patrick, some of the young prospects that are coming down the pipeline, some moves that are made. I think that things are finally on the upswing for the franchise.
What's your take on the Flyers this season, Al? Because as big a fan as you are with hockey, and you are.
Yeah, I think. Well, I want to see the kids, and it's going to be terrific. I love when guys get a chance real early, and with Patrick, and it's going to be just. I can't wait for there's only two seasons. I mean, hockey season and not hockey season.
Yeah, that's what I figured. And Dave Haxtell, your relation. One final question. I know you got things to go. Dave Haxtell taking over as the head coach, second year. Gentlemen, how excited has it been to have him take the reins?
John first, because he's in the locker room with them all the
time.
time.
I know you
with
are.
Dave Haxtell?
With Dave Haxtell. Just a pleasure to be around, right?
Sort of just takes a business-like approach to everything.
Yeah.
That's been his mentality. I think he's got a big challenge in front of him, though, because this franchise doesn't typically go back-to-back seasons without making the playoffs, and the fans become a little restless when you're coming off a subpar season, especially after he made the playoffs his first year here. So I think he's got some expectations that he's going to have to meet these expectations, and we'll see where they go from here.
What about you?
He's just slightly less emotional than Conor McGregor.
You know what? I hear that Al and John are just as slightly emotional on the golf course as they are in the studio.
You got to run. Got to go.
That's what you got to do. Al Morganti, John Borick, thank you again for joining us again on another issue of Voice of Reason. We're here at the Philadelphia Sportswriters Golf Outing Association here at the Ballot Golf Club in Philadelphia. Good seeing you as always, gentlemen. Such a great day, a beautiful day here again at the Ballot Golf Club. I'm sitting here actually in my office, or I should say in my golf cart, talking with one of my the longtime editor of the Philadelphia Inquirer, and of course the host of the Philadelphia Sportswriters Golf Association, benefiting the Adam Talafaro Foundation, is here. John Quinn, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing very good, thank you.
It's good to see you as always, and you know that, like I said, I have a great amount of respect, not only for the Inquirer, but because of people like yourself. Guys like us have really been able to make a break in this industry. Now, you are not the guy who hired my mentor, Jeremy Treatment, but you are the guy who's hired some very good friends of mine, including your, I guess you could say, your student, Sam Carcini. What a job he puts on every year.
Well, Sam doesn't need a teacher or a tutor. Sam is a one-man machine. He's a wrecking crew.
He definitely, you know what, he's the guy that, where's your, we're actually, because it's
about my ball.
you know what, we're going to find out actually where it is, hopefully, but this is amazing. Like I said, I'm just blown away by, this is good. I'm just blown away, again, as mentioned, by an incredible type of event. First off, it's benefiting the Adam Talafaro Foundation. What can you say about events like this?
Well, it's absolutely wonderful. I remember when Adam played at Penn State, I actually saw the play on TV. And he's made such a tremendous recovery. It's just remarkable. And the fact that he's doing so well in politics, the Penn State alumni, and the fact that he is just a tremendous leader, and it's great to have a role model like that.
And you're exact, and we mentioned that you are the editor at the Philadelphia Inquirer. How long officially It's been your title at the Inquirer.
Well, I'm actually on disability.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a cardiac situation.
Oh, like hypertrophy cardiomyopathy,
something like that.
Similar, yeah.
You can look me up, Google John Quinn, Philly.com, and cardiac, and you'll be able to read my story.
How are you feeling these days?
This is my first time out.
Wow.
In almost 2 years. And
you're actually golfing with a fellow. I guess you could say he's been on Voice of Reason once at the Woodcrest Country Club. Mike Rose, who was actually an Olympian in the Maccabea. Yes. I'm actually, you know what? And if Mike is actually listening to this, I think he should definitely know it's always nice to be around an Olympian, whether or not he was. That's what I consider you, Mike. I've always thought of you as you're still an Olympian at heart.
Good. I like the word.
What is it like just being around these type of athletes?
Well, I could have been a Maccabean athlete for Grabstein's Deli in Brooklyn, where I grew up.
Okay.
I could eat more pastrami and corned beef sandwiches than anybody. And the Knishes would have died for.
So you've been, again, like you said, out of action for quite some time. But again, you think about some of the great Inquirer writers. Now, they're not here today, but Sam Carchidi, Mike Jensen, Joe Giuliano, Frank Fitzpatrick. It's just so many great names. Again, yeah, I mean, what can you say about these types of people, what they display in their charities? Because there's a lot of them.
Well, they are all consummate pros. It's amazing. One of the things that I noticed, especially when we had Marion, they had the U.S. Open and other big events, all the other sports departments, the sports editors would tell me, they said, our guys came back and said, what a great, helpful, friendly crew you had, and what wonderful work they did.
Yeah.
Which makes you proud, because when you're in a line of fire, you're just working hard. You don't think twice about it. You just do it. And to hear that, time after time, whether it's World Series, Super Bowl, Final Four, total pro, and Joe Giuliano always seems to be in the middle of it.
Well, Joe is, and it's funny because wherever I go, whatever I do, whether it's the Penn Relays, the Army-Navy game, he is the first guy that if I walk the elevators at any of these events, Joe is usually the first guy that I see. I think he's as dedicated as what Sam has done with the Flyers, and to bring out two of his guys here today, Al Morganti, a Flyers radio personality, and of course John Borick of Comcast Sportsnet, probably the man who's always been assigned to since he came here to Philadelphia. I mean, it's just incredible what Sam has brought today, and just at least it's not warm like it was last year.
No, this is great. Actually, I have to remind myself to put sunscreen on, because
of course,
it's like 72 and perfect, and you don't think you're baking, but I have.
So what's the message, I guess, when you think about what Sam is doing, the proceeds again to the foundation of Adam Talaferro? When you think of a golf event like this, what is the message we're sending to people all across the world?
Well, I think especially somebody like Sam, who puts in so much work to get this right. A lot of people playing a lot of tournaments, and it's a lot of work. And I think people, taking the day off from work, or it's helping a charity besides getting to play golf, which is great. And I think, the media has been getting a lot of bad raps lately, but I'll tell you what, nobody cares more, works harder, always fighting for the underdog, always seems to see, Mike Newell writes columns about, the poor homeless and heroin addicts. I mean, the media goes after the really hard, tough story, and when people are down on their luck, and the spirit of journalists is to always try and help, and I think,
and you know what,
and to get it right.
And I tell you what, nobody gets it more righter than you, John Quinn, the editor of the Philadelphia Inquirer, who again, as mentioned, has been on disability for quite some time. It's good to have you back, I guess, around the golf course. It's good to actually have you back in person, and that, like I said, because of guys like you, it's people like myself that have been able to break into this business. John, we appreciate you stopping by. Always, like I said, good seeing you, and we'll catch up with you very soon.
Thank you very much, and I love your office.
Stop it. John Quinn again on another edition of Voice of Reason, the world's and Tri-State's famous podcast.
Best
16 to 20.
Such a beautiful day again here on the Ballot Golf Club here with Joe Coombs of the Philadelphia Rebels out of the Northeast Hockey League, I believe. North American. Let's get him on camera to actually say that is the North American Hockey League. You're paired up today with two of my other guests here on Voice of Reason, Flyers personalities, John Borick of Comcast Sportsnet and 94 WIP's Al Morganti. Are you having a good day today?
We're having a great day today. Couldn't ask for a better day. The weather's absolutely fantastic compared to a couple of weeks ago, so we're having a great time.
So you are, again, as mentioned, the hockey coach of the Philadelphia Rebels, and as we all know, the host of the Philadelphia Sportswriters Golf Association is Sam Carchidi, who is the beat writer of the Inquirer for the Philadelphia Flyers. And as we all know, this is sort of a Voice of Reason decided to kind of turn this from our normal stance of basketball and football to hockey today. So this is sort of the hockey type of theme. Now, you work with one of the most consistent hockey programs, again, the Philadelphia Rebels. What do people need to know about the Northeast Hockey League?
Well, number one is the kid. They're young men. They're ages 17 to 20.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and
pretty much what the NHL is, right?
Well, they're all draft eligible. All our kids will play Division I hockey. Last year we had 13 Division I commitments. The rest of the kids will come back. They'll be going to Penn State, but we play at a 1923 arena, and it's a great.
Where is that located?
It's University of Pennsylvania.
Oh, you mean the 2300 arena in Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. I've been many times. As a matter of fact, I did a game. It's funny because I actually did a game. It was like an indoor gridiron football game, and it's the one game I'll remember that I never got paid for it. And what's funny is that I've been inside that arena. Isn't that like a really nice arena?
It's really nice, but two, it's really old. It's old Spectrum like. It's
We'll remind you a little
really
bit.
It's really steep, and fans are right on top of the game, and we have a great atmosphere. It's there's more mistakes made, but it's fast. It's very chaotic. But it's a great brand of hockey. These kids play hard. There's always something to play for, and I think people should certainly. We're much more affordable than the Flyers. Not that I
understand. That.
It's just we're much a little bit more often. You can come more often.
I wanted to talk to you about that, and you're a pretty big Flyers fan, are you not?
I am.
Do you feel like this? What do you feel like the expectations for the Flyers this season?
You know what? I certainly like to see them grow from last year, make a playoff spot.
They're
a little younger.
Patrick, I believe.
Yeah, Nolan Patrick should be a good pick. I hope he stays healthy. I think more than anything, it was just a misdiagnosis from what I'm understanding. But they got good young hockey players, and I think Gothenburg is one of the best great defensemen in the NHL.
How high are your expectations this year for the Rebels?
Well, we lost in the final last year in the very last game. I'd like to think that we can win. So
one final question, because I know your party has officially left you, but don't worry, I will be more than happy to give you a ride back to your party. But Sam Carchidi, who just I could say I brought this up with John Quinn, who is his former editor. What can you say about like an event like this benefiting the Adam Talaferro Foundation? A guy again who can never walk ever again, but still makes positive attributes to this country.
Well, I know certainly why I bought mulligans today. It was any time that we can give back to the foundation, and obviously with the Sportswriters and Sam being out here, this is a great cause, and it's a great day. Absolutely
perfect. And last year, like you said,
it was raining.
It wasn't just rain; it was warm, and then eventually I had to drive home in the what was a eventual flood watch. Joe Coombs, again, of the Northeast, head coach of the Northeast Hockey League's Philadelphia Rebels. Thank you so much for being here. We hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and don't get too many mulligans because you could be running.
I haven't used any yet.
All right, Joe Coombs on another edition here of Voice of Reason. Well, the day is just finishing up here at the Ballot Golf Club, the Philadelphia Sportswriters Golf Outing Association, benefiting the Adam Talaferro Foundation. And indeed, I have the president of the Adam Talaferro Foundation here with us. It is, I'm told, 12th year, one of my favorite guests. And actually, his son is one of my closest friends, Tom Icavone Sr. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, it's good to. First off, it's great to see you as always. We go back certainly a long way, and I go back even longer with your kid, who's now in his. What year officially is he in at Rowan?
Believe it or not, I think he's in his 14th year at Rowan. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the most important reason why we're here today. The annual Philadelphia Sportswriters Golf Association. Great day, of course, on the course today. This was definitely a fantastic day, and all for a great cause. What is the purpose of the Adam Talfarrow Foundation?
Well, the Adam Talfarrow Foundation was established after Adam's injury. Originally, it was intended to help Adam get through it.
2000. So we're talking about 17 years now.
17 years now, yes. And Adam, luckily for Adam, I mean, he had Penn State and the NCAA behind him. So we decided to keep the foundation. And the objective of the foundation, the goals and objectives, are to benefit spinal cord victims, to help financially, educationally, and emotionally to assist spinal cord victims.
Like spinal stenosis?
Not spinal stenosis, but any spinal cord injury, what we call catastrophic injury, and not necessarily sports related, whether it's a motorcycle or diving in a swimming pool or in the ocean or on a hiking trail or football or basketball or hockey. Our recipients have come from all walks of life, male and female, from the tri-state area, Pennsylvania, Delaware, and New Jersey.
Yeah, I wish that your son, and I had a nice chat with him earlier, I wish he would start recruiting kids from the Pennsylvania area, because it seems like they don't really go over the bridge, though, do they?
I think it's a little bit of a problem because of the state college situation, you know.
Now, what's been the, as we shift back to gears, what's been the biggest, I guess you could say, success of this foundation? How much would you say you've raised in the past 17 years?
Well, I think we're well over the $1.5 million in raising,
nice.
And we provide, like I said, educational and emotional and financial support. So it's the success of this organization stems from Adam. He's our inspiration. He's still very actively involved, and he's our leader, and we're blessed to have him.
This is absolutely incredible just to be a part of something really special. And Adam, 17 years ago, I don't think anybody really expected that injury. How did he get really involved with helping other people?
Well, I think Adam, when he was laying there, not able to walk, with given a 3% chance of ever walking again, I think Adam made a commitment at that point that he would be there to assist others. And boy, I'll tell you, he's carried through on that. As have his father, as has Adam's father and his mother.
Oh yes,
they're very committed, and they've just been tremendous inspiration. They've helped a countless number of individuals who have gone through what Adam went through.
And when did you first officially meet Adam?
I met Adam. I was very good friends with Adam's high school football coach, Larry Ginsburg.
Yes, so I had a chat with him last year here at the Philly Sportswriter golf outing. Unfortunately, Larry was ill, so he couldn't make it. In fact, he was on the team of, or supposed to be on the team of, Eastern Regional girls basketball coach Joey Murphy, who just actually walked by us just moments ago. Yeah, he can hear us. Joey can hear us. We know. And he was supposed to be. And Larry really made a very valid point that Adam was somewhat like a son to him, and he always believed in good things about him, and he said it was very uncomfortable to watch. In fact, he was there actually that day when Adam had gone down. So what have we learned, I guess, about a guy like Larry Ginsburg, and what has he brought to the table?
Well, Larry was a great high school football coach and also a great teacher and a great mentor for many, including myself. I was a young football coach and met Larry at a very early age, and Larry kind of guided me and assisted me. Talking about the Murphy boys, I actually taught them in 7th grade.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I just saw them here today.
Joe and
Billy. Yeah. But Larry has just been an inspiration over the years, and he really cares about his players, and he cares about them a lot more than just football players.
Was there any other big names that he had besides Adam?
You know, I can't. Yes, he had a number of people, but I'm off the top of my head, I can't remember.
I think he was there over 25 years.
He was there probably, I was about 25. I think he was there from like 1992 through about 2010, something like that, his years at Eastern. So he had some great players and great teams. Larry, had two
Joe
or three.
Flacco, I believe.
No, he didn't have Joe.
No, Joe, he was gone. His
brother was gone by then, yeah.
Okay,
But Larry had some great football players and great teams. I mean, Eastern was a powerhouse. And Adam may have been one of the best high school football players ever to come out.
I never got a chance, unfortunately, to see him. So Adam was actually, I think, 97 from high school, if I'm correct, because actually my freshman year was his, I think, senior. What year exactly was it that he was injured? Junior? Or
he was injured on his freshman year at Penn State.
So this was 1999.
99 was his last year.
I was in 8th grade when this had actually happened. And once again, as mentioned, this has been a fantastic type of event. Today we've had beautiful type of weather. I've had the privilege of having some great guests from Al Morganti to guys like John Borick to just some unbelievable type of people. And now to have the president of the Talaferro Foundation is such an absolute thrill. And your son, like I said, if he starts recruiting people in the Philly area, I'll be just a lot happier, though.
You and me both.
Well, Tommy Eichavone Sr., it's always so good to see you, and we appreciate you stopping by. I know you've got a very busy schedule, and we'll definitely catch up with you.
Thank you very much.
Tommy Eichavone Sr., again, the president of the Adam Talaferro Foundation. We're wrapping up today the Philadelphia Sportswriters Golf Association, again, here at the Bala Golf Club in Philadelphia, PA. And for the final interview, I can't believe I'm actually saying this. It's been such a great day at the Philadelphia Sportswriters Golf Association, and indeed, I have the president of the Philadelphia Sportswriters, and no, not anymore. He is not. He is not the president anymore, but he was. He's one of my dearest friends in the entire world, Philadelphia Inquirer Zone and Flyer beat writer Sam Carcini. Sam, it's always so good to see you. Thank you again for inviting Voice of Reason here today. And you know that, like I said, I've known you for almost a decade now. We go back to the days we were covering Big Five basketball.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I really appreciate you coming here, and it's a great event. We raise a little money for the Adam Talaferro Foundation,
yes.
And I know you just talked to Tom Eichavone, who's the president.
Right.
He's very mild-mannered, but he does a great job. He doesn't like to pump himself up, and he's raised over $1.5 million for the
He did say that.
for the Talaferro
He did,
Foundation,
yes.
and we help athletes who have suffered spinal injuries, and so it's a great cause. We had a real good turnout, and I must compliment Bala too. They do a great job of helping us out here.
Well, it's definitely one thing you mentioned that because this is, again, all proceeds are going to Adam Talaferro Foundation. And it was only 17 years ago I was watching the game, the Penn State game, that he went down. It just, when he couldn't move, it was just really hard to believe. And actually last year, I had a good chat with his high school coach, Larry Ginsburg. Unfortunately, Larry couldn't make it today, but there's just so many people that say a lot of good things about this foundation. What is the best part about working for it?
Yeah, I guess the best part is making an injured athlete's life normal again. That's what we try to do. I mean, whether it's with providing wheelchairs for them. In some cases, we've actually put elevators in the homes of athletes
really? Well, not just athletes,
who are disabled, right,
and
but
people.
Exactly, people who've suffered spinal injuries. Number one, we try to help athletes, but in extenuating circumstances, we do help people that are not athletes. But that's how it started. Originally, it was for football players, and then it kind of spread because, unfortunately, there are a lot of people that suffer spinal injuries, whether it's football or swimming or car accidents or whatever.
Sure.
But just seeing people have as normal of life as possible. We try to help them do that, and like I said, Tom Eichavone has been the backbone of the organization. Larry Ginsburg, you mentioned, was the person that really started it, and a lot of good people who all donate. They all donate their time for free.
Yeah, we even had my first guest today, Eastern High's own Joe Murphy, who is the girls basketball coach and had, I believe, over 30 years of coaching himself. But he mentioned that, and it's just great to have Eastern here today because Adam, of course, is an Eastern High grad. How big have they been in this process?
Oh, Eastern's been tremendous, and all of South Jersey's been tremendous. I mean, when Adam was injured, as you mentioned, it's hard to believe it was 17 years ago. All of South Jersey, they would actually hold up their fingers during games at the national anthem. They held up a 4 and a 3, which was his number,
yes.
And they all got behind him to show that they were trying to show their inspiration, how they were behind Adam. All of South Jersey, not just Eastern. Eastern's been a big part of it.
They really have been. At Sterling, your old high school has been a part of it. Eastern has, like you said, definitely been a part of it. But let's change gears for a minute. Today we had some great guests today. Your old mentor who lied completely on my show about the work and success you do, John Quinn, who is recovering from a heart issue. John Borick is here, and Al Morganti, Comcast Sportsnet, is well represented here today. So certainly a great turnout again by members of the Philadelphia media.
Yeah, it really is, and like I said, it's a great day, and we lucked out today, to tell you the truth, because
no hot weather, no rain.
Last year was 95.
Was one of the most uncomfortable times I think I ever had in my life. But I'll tell you what, when John Quinn mentioned, and I had to say your name, he said, "Well, Sam is one of the hardest working people." What would you say about stuff like that? Do you feel like you've certainly achieved what you wanted?
Yeah, well, I would say it's a labor of love. I mean, I don't think of it as work. I mean, some people, I'm blessed because,
You're one of the hardest working people I've ever known.
Some people, they work, well, I appreciate that.
You're creative. We know that.
I appreciate that. But some people go to work and they look at the clock to see how many hours they have to work. I look at the clock for a different reason, hoping I have more hours when I'm, covering the Flyers, whatever, because there's always stories you can write and things you can do. And so, to me, it's a labor of love. So it doesn't really seem like work.
Well, that's one of the things that I've always loved about you. You and I have a lot in common. Some people want to count down the hours and say, when am I going to go home? You and I are the type of guys that say, our day's just getting started. I hope this never ends, again, as mentioned for us, and that's the thing that we're good at. One last thought, because, again, this is, to me, Voice of Reason is doing like a hockey type of theme. The Flyers, a few weeks away, again, from kicking off the 2017-2018 season. A lot of big names, again, lots to talk about. What are we expecting this year?
Yeah, I think it's going to be exciting. They could have, as many as 5 rookies on the team, and I think
Nolan Patrick too.
Nolan Patrick is one of them, and Nolan Patrick, I think he's going to be their second line center, but we'll see how it plays out. But I also think that Oscar Lindblom is going to be a big factor this year. I'm excited to see these young guys. I think you're going to see Sam Moran, Robert Haig on defense. Maybe Mike Vecchione could make the team. Although Scott Lawton right now, I think, is favored to be the fourth line center. The big question to me is going to be goaltending, we'll see. We'll see. Mason, of course, is no longer here. Brian Elliott, to me, it was a sideways move. I don't know if, I think they're going to struggle in the beginning of the year because they're going to have 4 guys on defense that are in their first or second year. But I think the second half of the year they'll be competitive, and they'll be battling for a playoff spot. But I think you're going to see Giroux bounce back, and to me, it's an exciting year because they're going to get better, and the farm system that is rated the best in the NHL. So, good things are ahead for these Flyers.
And you definitely think that Dave Haxtell really has this team in the right direction. What your experience? I've never personally met him, but what is your experience of a guy like Dave?
Well, the jury is still out, to be honest with you. I mean, I think he did a great job his first year. Last year, some of the guys regressed a little bit. This will be a year for him to prove, what kind of coach he is.
Is his job really, is there, course of concern, his job could be at stake, really?
Well, let's see how the kids develop. I think if the kids develop, that's why he was brought in. He did such a great job in North Dakota. And,
that's a great hockey school, if I remember correctly.
He put them, into the Final Four multiple times, and that's why he was brought here, to develop the young players, and we'll see how they develop this year. If they develop he thinks they will, and the general manager thinks they will, his job will be fine. If they don't, then he could be on the hot seat. But going in, I don't think there's any pressure right now.
Well, I feel like if they could put up with guys like Brett Brown and guys like like Andy Reid for so many years, they could take a chance on a guy like Dave Haxtell. Again, Sam Carchidi, the man who was responsible for putting this wonderful event, the Philly Sportswriters Golf Association, together to benefit the Adam Towle Foundation. Thank you so much for having us here today, and that we're definitely going to be. This is not the last you're going to be seeing of us.
All right. Thank you so much for coming out. I can't thank you enough.
Well, I always love seeing you. Again, Sam Carchidi here on Voice of Reason. Final thoughts when we come back after this at the Philadelphia Sportswriters Golf Outing. I know I'm going to be getting something to eat in a few moments. All right, back here again inside the, I guess you could say the dinner portion of the Philadelphia Sportswriters Golf Association. I'm Jake Schwartz again for another edition of Voice of Reason. This day again has officially come to an end here at the Ballot Golf Club, and all proceeds again benefit the Adam Towle Foundation. We're always excited again, as mentioned, to be here at the Ballot Golf Club, and thank you again to Sam Carchidi for inviting us again. Sam, no longer the president of the Sportswriters Association, but the head of this golf event again, and a man who really puts a lot of work. And we want to thank all of our guests for joining us, from Tom Icavone, the president of the Towle Foundation, to media personalities John Borick of Comcast Sportsnet and Al Morganti of 94 WIP for joining us here today. I want to thank Joe Murphy of Eastern High School and certainly a lot more that came on earlier today that joined us. Joe Coombs from the Philadelphia Rebels of the Northeastern Hockey League. It was definitely a great day, definitely a good time to be a part of fun and enjoyment. And we want to thank again everybody for joining us. So from all of us again here at the Ballot Golf Club, this has been a presentation of Voice of Reason, the world's tri-state's most famous podcast. Also, thank you again to Sam Carcini for coming on and joining us, and we appreciate them stopping by. We appreciate everybody again joining us here today. Don't forget, coming up Wednesday, we will be down at the Wells Fargo, or I should say, down at the Philadelphia City Hall. The Philadelphia Soul have done it again. They are world champions for the third time since 2008. We will hopefully get interviews from everybody. That's anybody as members of the Philadelphia Soul. Then we'll head to Chickies and Pete's, where members will be available for questions and answers. This coming weekend, again, as mentioned, is my best friend's wedding, the Kramer Rosenzweig wedding. And, of course, for those who, when this thing airs, congratulations to them as a husband and wife over 8 years again together. And we also will have our first edition of high school for Voice of Reason, St. Augustine Prep. Boy, it's been a long day again on the golf course. St. Augustine Prep will take on Malvern Prep as New Jersey takes on PA. Archbishop Wood welcomes in Paramus Catholic. That's all coming up this week on another edition of Voice of Reason. I'm Jake Schwartz from the Ballot Golf Club saying so long from the Philadelphia Sportswriters Golf Association.